Welcome to the fourth day of our seminar. Stress management and avoidance of crisis situations are quite trendy topics nowadays. I remember how at some point in my life I sat down and I was thinking, now I will sort out all my problems and from then on I will lead a very peaceful life. However, in reality, our life consists of never-ending cycles of setting up the target and then dealing with the struggles on the way. The most valuable thing I have learned in this regard is acceptance and ability to learn from moment of the struggle. I don't like and I don't use the word failure. I much prefer phrasing the experience I needed to gain in order to achieve my goal. I have come to understanding that there are things I can influence and then there are things I have no control of, like other people or world's economy. My job in this life is to learn and work on my perception of things that are happening around me, work on my mental and physical state, and take responsibility for my decisions and actions. It's a hard work, you know. Nobody wants to look in a mirror and say, you did this. We are very tendent to look for someone to put a blame on in order to avoid the pain inside of us. However, in reality, nobody is walking around and thinking how to make you feel worse. The boss which is screaming at you, he's simply frustrated and has no other mechanisms to let his frustration out. The person who broke into somebody's home, he simply broke in thinking of the money he needs. The woman who is eating the cake every day and then complaining about her weight has no other mechanism to soothe herself. Once you train yourself that other person's actions has nothing to do with you, your perception shifts for good. Now, I know that some of the life experiences are harder than others. Me, myself, I have been victim of armed robbery. It took me months to get over it. I have seen my business skyrocket and then break down to pieces. I have been through many crisis situations in my business and private life. I have lived through life-threatening health problems. I have been in deepest depressions and hardest burnouts ever and seen many more things. Everything I'm telling you, I have experienced and I have felt on my own skin. And I believe it to be the most valuable information. So trust me when I tell you, work on your perception and on your coping mechanisms. In every uneasy situation, we start to have some symptoms. In this regard, today we will work with two models available in market, C.R.A.S.H and Coach. And our target for today is that you learn to recognize these two states and create your own coping mechanism for times when you fall into the state C.R.A.S.H. Let's begin. Now on the screen you can see the state C.R.A.S.H. We will go quickly through it. C stands for contraction. You become self-protective, feel stress, you are close to new ideas. Here it's very important that you pay attention to your body. If you remember in last lecture we discussed that our body reacts first. So maybe you can try to track if your breathing is changing, or you are touching your neck or your hair, maybe your fists are flexing, or you feel tension in your jaw. R is reactive. You're acting in response to situation rather than controlling it. You start to feel destructive emotions. Here we can feel like not doing anything at all. The paradox is that when we feel relaxed, we actually feel active, we feel like doing something. But in situation when life is pressuring us to do something, we start to feel lazy. That's our normal reaction to things. A is action paralysis. It's very important that here you notice when you start to have inner dialogue, meaning that you start to analyze your past and horrible things that could happen in the future. We normally do it out of fear. You see, when we overanalyze, we are not in touch with reality, therefore we can't experience what is happening at the moment. Analysis keeps us from taking an action, and it's important for you to remember that no matter how many times you analyze, the problem will not change from that. S is for separated. Here could come thoughts like, I need to distract myself from a problem, then it will disappear. It also could be just unconscious process in that direction, and it separates you from your problem, but it doesn't change it. Or you could start to think, no one will understand me, there is no need to share with another people. And therefore you distance yourself from others, and then you go to the H, hurting, hating part, where you can reject people, reject their help, and you have so much hurt inside that you can verbally assault them or even become aggressive. I want to tell you that it is okay not to be okay sometimes. In my times of crashing, I was even more demanding on myself. I kept pushing myself forwards, and I was so angry with myself for feeling weak. But it's not weakness. Something has happened and I'm unwell right now. You see, we have been raised in a socium that if we are physically unwell, if we catch a cold or get a fever, then we rest and take a medicine. But what about the times when we are mentally unwell? Just like our body needs a rest, so does our mental system need some time to recover. It needs our understanding, acceptance, and right actions. When I feel that I am crashing, I take a day off or maximum 3. It's very important to set a time limit here. In this time, I do whatever I want. Watch movies, sleep, eat junk food, skip sports. I know to which people I can call in order to get the support or discuss the anger I have inside of me. In this time, I can also do the technological detox, so I inform the people that I'm doing it and nobody disturbs me. All of this process goes in 3 phases. First phase is resting phase, second one is doing things for myself, and third one is getting back on my feet. In third phase, I normally come up with a new action plan. Just like people tidy up their closet, I tidy up my thoughts and take care of my emotions. After this process, feeling of peace comes and resources start to return to me. And this is called state coach. Of course, I told you all of this because I am going to give you the small self-analysis sheet so you can fill it in now or when you will be in a crash state. However, my recommendation would be to fill it now. First is, what am I feeling? Here you write everything you feel. Second one is, who can I ask for support if I need to? And it's important to write here names, specific experiences that connect you. Every connection is different. You possibly have noticed that every connection with every single one of your friends is individual. What is important for me when I feel not okay? What I feel like doing when I'm in that state? I would recommend you to fill in these questions now because maybe there will be some points that you can prepare in advance if you start to feel that you are crashing. Because, for example, in my case, when I'm crashing, I don't feel like cooking. So on the way home, I normally already buy some food in advance. What do I enjoy? What gives me a feeling of peace? And where did I feel the most relaxed? These 3 questions are about gaining resources when you have none left. The question, where did I feel the most relaxed and can I go there, is a very special question because our brain doesn't tell the difference between a fantasy and real event. It's already scientifically proven. So that's why I'm asking here for you to, if you can't go there, then you can imagine that place. Look, what is around you? Pay attention to details. Listen to the sounds around you. Be there for as long as you need. And here I also wrote what I normally do because my place of power is water stream high up in the mountains. And I literally breathe in the fresh air and let the sound of the stream fuzz away my thoughts. I listen carefully to what I hear. Sometimes there are birds singing. Sometimes there are some animals. I look around and I really have no idea how long time I've spent in this state because normally after that I just fall asleep. As you can see, I have also added here the exercise grounding. This is very important exercise because as we spoke earlier, when we start to have a state crash, we are really likely to start to have inner dialogue and we are not connected to reality. And this exercise brings you back to reality. It grounds you. So what you need to do, you need to sit down comfortably and close your eyes. You need to start to pay attention to your sensations. What do you feel in your body? Just observe it for some minutes. Pay attention how comfortably you are sitting, what parts of your body are touching the chair. You can start to feel the air you breathe in and air you exhale. They will be in different temperatures. Then you can switch to the sounds you hear. What is happening around you? Maybe you will hear some cars passing by, your children playing more further away, somebody conversing on the street. Do this for a few minutes. Then you open your eyes and pay attention to what you see. Just look at the items. Don't analyze them. Just register bag, chair, plant, table. And after doing that for some minutes, you take a deep breath and realize that you are at this safe place, home for example, and nothing bad can happen to you. And with exhale, you let the rest of the tension go. And then, when all of this analysis is done, I want you to promise yourself that as soon as you will feel better, you will do one of the things that make you happy. You will have them on point that you wrote earlier, and I want you to always do it because you love yourself. So now you can see on the screen the state coach. C is centered. Here you are understanding your strengths, you're feeling confident, you are in contact with your body. The best way to stay in your body is through physical exercises. Not only it keeps you grounded, but also it lets the excess of the day out. O, open. You are open to new ideas. A, aware. You are here and now. You hear, see, and feel. You are staying in contact with the world around you. C, connected. I am part of something bigger. H, holding. I have all that's needed in order to deal with the situation in front of me. I want you to remember, the most important thing is you and what is happening within you. Outer world is just a reflection of these processes. At the end, I would like to show you an example of how we could find ourselves in a state crash. Quite a common example is when we stand in front of the choice, because in this process we can start to have inner conflict. Let's look into it. So now on the screen you can see what inner process takes place when we start to realize that we need to go for a change. From one side we have security and steady income, but I need to work more hours that I would like to work, do the work that doesn't make me happy. Now I feel proud, confident about my skills, but my boss, colleagues and company doesn't satisfy me. Now I'm in my comfort zone. However, I feel like I'm not living my full potential. Now I know everything and it gives me a sense of stability. Hey, but I know everything and I feel my life is passing by. You see, understanding that some changes need to be done doesn't mean that we will do them. How come? It's because everything that you see on the left side will be gone for some time if you will decide to go for a change. Let me show you on the next slide. So, need for a change activates and the new process starts to take place. From left side you feel secure, but in new environment, profession, society, I will feel insecure. I will have to meet new people, be in new surroundings, introduce myself. No one knows me there. Now I feel proud, confident about my skills. But when I will start something new, I will be beginner. What if I don't know something? Now I'm in my comfort zone, but road to improvement requires me being in zone of new, unknown. I have no idea how everything will be there. Now I know everything and it gives me a sense of stability. I don't know what will happen there. I feel unstable. What if something goes wrong? It is very important to stay in a state coach as you do this process. Then understand where inner conflict is coming from, like in this chart. Ask yourself, what are the benefits of this situation? What will I lose if I move on? What will I gain if I will move on? And if after all of these steps you feel like change needs to take place, apply model SMART-F, which I gave you in the first lecture, and off you go to your new life. That's all for today. With you was I, Eva Sprudzane, and I will see you tomorrow.